Want to bring in some residence experts, national security analyst Dr. Rebecca Grant and president of American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Welcome to both of you. Dr. Jasser, this is something that we've seen a ton of times where there's a big flex from America. You better not do this. Iran does it anyway. There's no response. Now there's a response. What say you, sir?
Yeah, I mean, this is not only a very, very appropriate operation, but we had a window of opportunity because remember how we got here. There were revolutions that were happening from 2009 to 2017 to 19, 21, 24, and then this largest one that just happened. So there's a window of opportunity where, listening to your last segment, I can't tell you how refreshing it was to hear you say it's not regime change, because we aren't going and breaking a country that has no revolution happening. President Trump said, take the government when you have the opportunity. We told you help would come. It is coming now. So that people are unarmed. They can't take a government that's slaughtering them in the streets with weapons and machinery, etc. And we saw, if you look at the bombing, what's been happening recently, we bombed areas that aren't on anybody's maps because we're hitting them in artillery centers and storage facilities that just aren't mapped. So we are eventually, just as you saw Israel did in December 24, where they sealed the borders, they basically knocked out most of Assad's military operation, and within 3 weeks, the Syrian revolution walked through with Toyotas into Damascus. So that's the best goal, and I think Iran realizes they're on the last breaths as we push them over the cliff that the people got them set on. Their economy is zero. The labor folks are activated, the women's are activated, students are activated. So this is the window of opportunity.
Dr. Grant, we have seen international support for Donald Trump's strikes. Iranians that have fled Iran from not only, we're going back into the Shah era, now under the Ayatollah, the Khomeini, and then Khamenei, his predecessor. We have seen them celebrating globally. And yet we have Congresswoman Ilhan Omar going forward, writing on social media, Trump has launched an illegal regime change war. As someone who has survived the horrors of war, I know military strikes will not make us safer. They will inflame tensions and push the region further into chaos. When we abandon diplomacy, we choose destruction. And I couldn't help but notice, Dr. Grant, that it was her father that was involved in mass genocide in Somalia. And the only reason she fled to America, who took her in under our kind ways, was because her father was part of the genocidal government that fell, and when it fell, they wanted to off her family.
I hate to see her statement, and she and some of the other Democrats need to really do their homework. While there is great new hope for Iran, don't forget that we still have a very active military campaign going on. To me, the metric of success is the destruction of Iran's military capacity, which they use to kill their own people, to kill U.S. service members over the years, and now just very recently. We've got to see this campaign continue, and we're going to judge it based on how much of their capability we take down. And believe me, we're going to wipe it out.
Yeah, well, Dr. Jasser, the other thing, too, is the one lone voice of sanity, I think, on the left right now, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, was just on with Greta earlier today. Listen to what he had to say.
I think the world is better with him killed than that he's gone. And now that's why you see a lot of people celebrating that in Iran, both in here in our nation now, too.
This is the thing. This is a state-sponsored chanting death to America. I'm fine with him taking a dirt nap.
Absolutely. There is nothing more righteous for the most moral fighting forces in the planet to wipe him out. And I have to tell you, as a Muslim, I served 11 years in the U.S. Navy, served in Somalia, and to see traitors like Ilhan Omar talk about our troops the way she does and Israel's moral force the way she does. These are enemies of the state. They're part of the Marxist jihadist global axis, if you will. And I can tell you, this isn't even a consequential event for 45 years or even 100 years. This is a millennial type of shift in Islam, where just like America was founded on fighting theocracy, the death of a theocratic death cult in Iran that came up as a revolution of the people initially, and now they had remorse for doing so for 45.5 years. They realized that they ushered in theocracy and inhuman type of oppression. That is going to set back political Islam in the region back since the 12th century, when it's been stuck in any type of enlightenment and reform. So this is a huge shift in history, and God bless President Trump and our men and women in uniform for helping do that. And there's been an alignment of missions, if you will, us protecting America first because of their spread of terror through proxies across the planet, and us protecting human rights, freedom, and liberty for people that share our vision of secular liberal democracy.
Dr. Grant, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
All right, folks.